Donald Trump decided to kick off his week this week by sharing an AI-generated video featuring former President Barack Obama being violently arrested and placed in handcuffs inside the Oval Office, and then, of course, sitting in his little orange jumpsuit behind bars of a prison. Because, as we all know, Donald Trump desperately needs a distraction from the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, which is getting worse for him by the day, with more and more of Epstein's victims coming out and making some of the worst allegations we've ever seen about Donald Trump. And by the way, not just Epstein victims, some of these allegations are actually being made by friends of Donald Trump's wives. Actually, the wives of friends of Donald Trump, I should say. But either way, Epstein scandal's getting horrible. So last week, Donald Trump basically sent Tulsi Gabbard out. It said, go drum up all this negative publicity for Obama. Accuse him of treason. And Tulsi Gabbard did it. Tulsi Gabbard spent her weekend going on Fox News insisting that President Barack Obama engaged in some sort of conspiracy to commit treason by undermining the incoming Trump administration by claiming, against all intelligence, that Russia hacked the 2016 election. Now, right on its face, right, and Gabbard released 100 pages of documents showing that they had no evidence that Russia hacked the election infrastructure, but they amplified those claims anyway, right? That's what she's saying. And that's why Trump posted the AI video of Obama being arrested. Now, here's the thing. This is the fun part, right? When you think back on Russiagate, right? All the stories that emerged, all the allegations against Trump being, a puppet for Russia. Do you know what was not a big talking point? That Russia effectively hacked into our voting systems. I mean, listen, I was doing this at the time. I remember it very vividly because obviously we all talked about it for years. And not once do I remember saying there's a possibility Russia hacked into our election infrastructure. That wasn't a talking point. So on the surface, Tulsi Gabbard is already wrong about her accusations against Obama that he amplified this. No, he didn't. And they didn't release anything prior to the election either. We learned about this all after. So, there's that. But this Russia hacked into our elections and changed the results. That wasn't a thing really anybody thought. Maybe in some of the corners of the internet, people were spreading conspiracies like that, but it was never mainstream. The whole thing was that Russia was helping Trump. They were buying ads on social media, which is confirmed, to promote Trump and attack Hillary Clinton. They had bot farms. They had troll farms. They had article farms that would put out fake articles to be shared on social media about horrible things Hillary Clinton allegedly did. That was their interference. And that is what we talked about. But Tulsi Gabbard's like, no, everybody was talking about Russia hacking the election. No, they weren't. That's not even a thing. So your allegations, again, on their face are just not even in this reality. But it doesn't matter because nothing is going to happen to Obama. But what does matter is that this administration is so desperate to, distract people from the Epstein thing that they will do anything. And that means that Trump will go crazier than usual, posting these AI videos, doing exactly what he accused the Democrats of doing to him for so many years, right? The Democrats did not do that. Prosecutors did based on mountains of evidence. You, on the other hand, Donald, are trying to fabricate evidence to make your wildest fantasies come true. By now, you know Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, but almost no one's reporting how ICE is going to get nearly $40 billion of our tax dollars a year, making it the most heavily funded law enforcement agency in U.S. history. That's more money than most nations actually spend on their entire military. So much of our media is either missing the worst of this bill or twisting the language so that you think it's all in your best interest. But we have seen the ICE raids ramping up, and now Trump's openly threatening to deport U.S. citizens. This should be the biggest story in America, yet it's buried, which is what makes Ground News essential right now. They're the only tool that I've found that is exposing these blind spots in the media. By gathering the world's news in one place, organizing it by story, then analyzing just how far right and radical each unbiased source actually is, you get way more context than you ever would anywhere else. If we're being honest, we have seen Trump's power grabs throughout history. They said never again, and that means never again everywhere, and right now, it's happening here. So if you want to stay ahead on immigration, the economy, or simply finding the stories missing from your news feeds, Ground News has you covered. Their app and website is a smarter, more reliable way to stay informed at a time when MAGA is banking on us to stay distracted. So I've partnered with them to get you 40% off the very same Vantage plan that I've been using. That comes out to about $5 per month for unlimited access to everything that I've mentioned and more. Just go to ground.news/ROF or scan the QR code to subscribe. With at least another 4 years of this, we can't afford to miss these details.